When Greek meets Greek. After back-to-back retaliation attack, UK seizes time to deal the last nail. EU try to dissuade UK from triggering Article 16. Dublin and Brussels officials fear move could result in trade war between sides. There have been face-to-face contacts this week between senior figures from the Irish and British governments as the UK makes its case for triggering the mechanism, but Dublin remains fiercely opposed to such a move. There has been a growing expectation in Brussels and Dublin that British Prime Minister Boris Johnson's administration is moving towards using the clause to unilaterally suspend aspects of the protocol, which was designed to avoid a hard border on the island after the UK left the EU. Article 16 is an emergency clause in the protocol which can be activated unilaterally if the agreement leads to serious economic, societal or environmental difficulties that are liable to persist, or to diversion of trade. Westminster is insisting that triggering Article 16 would neither be illegitimate nor illegal, and is provided for in the treaty. However, the EU side strongly disputes the basis for invoking it, and government figures in Dublin have warned that the move would endanger the entire EU-UK trade and cooperation agreement. Article 16 is a highly controversial safeguard clause deemed a last resort measure by the EU, but with the UK on the cusp of triggering it, Brussels has two options on the table. Post-divorce relations between the EU and UK continue to worsen, with fisheries and Northern Ireland as the flashpoints for escalation of tensions. Britain's Brexit negotiator Lord David Frost, who met European Commission Vice President Maroš Šefčovič on Friday, has previously warned that triggering Article 16 is very much on the table and had been since July. Such a move has been described as colossally stupid by former Prime Minister Sir John Major. But EU and Irish officials claim triggering Article 16 is becoming an increasingly likely option as Brussels and London fail to make significant progress towards a deal. Now the bloc has threatened punitive action if Britain invokes Article 16, which would result in some parts of the Northern Ireland Protocol being suspended. Last week, the European Commission Vice President warned of serious consequences if the UK triggered Article 16. Mr. Šefčovič said the move would be serious for Northern Ireland as it would lead to instability and unpredictability. There are two main thoughts for how the bloc should retaliate if Article 16 were triggered. One diplomat told Politico Playbook, "There is a consensus that London has gone too far." The source added, "But we are not yet talking about a sanctions package at today's meeting. The first avenue the EU might take is to wait and see what Prime Minister Boris Johnson does." This move would mean the EU waits to see exactly how Mr. Johnson proceeds and then retaliate accordingly. Some EU officials wanting to pursue this process warn of self-fulfilling prophecies about a trade war, especially given Britain has yet to invoke Article 16. However, there is another camp which wants to take stronger measures against London. This group, led by France, wants to send a clear message to Britain and warn how much its actions will cost the nation. The diplomat told Politico this camp and position is gaining ground. Even Germany, which has traditionally taken a more cautious approach when it comes to diplomacy, is now calling for stricter action. Berlin is calling on the bloc to reimpose tariffs across the board rather than seek moderate retaliatory measures. Many officials believe softer action would fail to dissuade Mr. Johnson, and it would be more difficult to agree on as those types of measures would likely impact different EU countries to varying degrees. However, suspending the EU-UK Trade and Cooperation Agreement, TCA, would be fairer and could therefore be easier to agree. If the European Union were to suspend only part of the TCA and keep other chapters, such as the part on citizens, intact, this would mean imposing tariffs on the UK as if it were a third country such as the USA or China.